Well, hello and welcome all you beautiful internet peeps from Tashlan, Child of the Dog, and Puddon Anpye, the pussycats. I'm currently on the Creatinators world and I am picking up grass. I'm basically hollowing out a hill. I did a lot of it using excavators because, you know, this is a lot of digging. But just this last little patch I'm going to be digging out by hand. I haven't been on this server very much. What I've been doing, I've sort of been just pootling along doing my own thing. And there's reasons for that. Well, I won't go into that. I've just been giving myself some me time, and that's how it goes sometimes. But I've got this idea that I've started working on. You're probably seeing snippets of it there in the background. This idea for a build here at Spawn. It's what I want it to be. I want it to be have an upper floor that is a repository for any surplus recipes, for the data disks and all that, the kind of little doodads that you pick up along the way. And then also to have lower floors that will accommodate excess things that you pick up. I mean, if you've got thousands and thousands of grass, which I'm probably going to end up with after all of this, then you can drop it off, and maybe somebody's doing a building with grass, like I am, then they'll be able to use it. So that's going to be put at Spawn. So it's, you know, it's a community thing, so everybody can have what they want. It's all about sharing, isn't it? Oops, pressing the wrong key there. So I'm just finishing off. It's only the last little layer here. And a little sort of backstory while we're doing this, as I thought, well, you know, while I'm doing something that's rather boring and monotonous, it'll be a bit of story time. When I was a kid, I never got Lego. Because my mom thought that little girls didn't do little boy things like playing with Lego. They had to play with dollies. I disagreed. I still do. But that was what she thought. So I used to have to, you know, this is the good thing, I had a younger brother. I used to have to then be nice to my younger brother and play with his Lego. Now, I'll be quite honest, I didn't do anything incredibly creative with Lego. He did. He was very creative with his Lego. He used to make all little cars and boats and all that sort of thing. And I used to do, you know, the standard square house with windows and a little triangle for a roof. It's the same sort of kiddie drawing that you usually get. You know, it's a square with a triangle on top and then the windows in the corners for some strange reason. So I kind of decided rather early on that I wasn't a very creative person. It clearly wasn't my forte. So at school I went on and studied science and maths because, you know, I was good at that. I can do science. Yes, I made this hole when I was busy doing planning because this build, believe it or not, actually involved a bit of maths, which I said I'm good at, so yay! But I'd never considered myself to be what I'd call a creative person. So I'd never really tried. It wasn't until after I left school that I started to try to be creative. And just want to see if I've got any of this. This is what I want. So I want to put this floor down as well. So yeah, let's take this to here. And put it straight back. Mouse scroll, come on. Thank you. Sort of want to see how that looks. That's looking fine. Okay. So, it wasn't, like I said, until after I left school that I started trying what I called, you know, creative things. And that involved writing. I'm a published novelist, believe it or not. And I also discovered that I actually can draw and I can paint, and I kind of enjoy it. I've enjoyed that sort of creativity. I do a lot of craft. I do sewing, and I do a lot of, you know, card making, and I do cross stitch, and yeah, things that I didn't think when I was at school that I could do. But I've never, even with all that, never considered myself to be a creative person, believe it or not. And so when I first started playing Creativerse, I went straight into, you know, early Lego mode. Which was, let's build squares with triangle roofs. Wasn't particularly original, I'll be quite honest about that. But in doing Creativerse, and I think this same sort of thing applies to all art, it's in the doing. You have to do art to become creative. Because, you know, you start off, you put a paintbrush in your hand, you go, right, okay, bit of colour, splash it on the canvas, lovely. But it's only when you actually start going, well, what happens if I mix it with this, or what happens if I do this, that you discover, actually, I do have a creative streak. This is interesting to me. And it's the same thing with Creativerse. I've gone from square houses, and I think a lot of you, if you've been following my channel, have seen that I still do squares, because I kind of think, well, yeah, it's a voxel world. Squares are normal, right? But you don't have to do squares. And this is sort of where I'm coming to with this. Is I've kind of been inspired. I think I don't know if anybody's watched The Lord of the Rings. Anybody who's seen the Hobbit houses in the Shire. And they're round with round doors, and I was thinking, well, that'll be nice. Yes, how on earth do I do a round building in a Vauxhall world? How on earth do I do a round doorway with square blocks? And I've done a lot of thinking about it, and a lot of planning, and a lot of research, and I started off like, yay, I'll just do this, da 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 da, and I just thought, well, it'll be easy, you just do, you know, corners and things, and it'll be fine. No, it doesn't work that way. And it was quite interesting to find out that no, it doesn't work like that, because what I ended up with was a cone. It was a green cone. I was like, that's nice, not what I wanted. Bit disappointing there. Look, people, come look at my cone. So I thought, well, okay, how do you make a circle out of squares? And so I did look on the internet, and there's lots of things. I mean, I suppose it's courtesy of Minecraft, is that lots of people have got these sort of circle generators. You put in what size circle you want, and it tells you how to do it using squares. So I picked a random size and saw the pattern and followed it. But it was only a two-dimensional pattern, and I had to translate that into 3 dimensions, and also it had to be, it's a full circle around, but of course up it's only a hemisphere. So it's taken me quite a lot of figuring out and falling and going up and down and counting. There's an awful lot of counting. You'd have been very bored. I've been like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I've miscounted. Okay, there, done that. No, have we done? Are we sure we done? Is that right? No, not sure. Not sure. But it's been fun because it's definitely been exercising my brain, and I'm one of those people that I kind of like being challenged every now and then. I've sort of discovered that with walking my dog, by giving him a challenge, which is carrying his backpack. He enjoys his walks much more. So, you know, probably that sort of thing applies to human beings too. Right, now that I've talked about the hemisphere, it's a little bit dark because I haven't put any lighting in the interior. But as you can see, I've done one quadrant. And what I'll do is we'll come up here, as I'm prepared to demonstrate this, and we'll glide our way up here. So the initial planning was I had to find the center. So my center is up here. Right, and bearing in mind that this, I found this center was on the top of a hill like all of these. So I've dug away all of that. And then what it was, and this is where the counting came in, it was like, right, well, I need 1, 2, 3, 4 from, because it has to be a certain distance. I'm not going to go into all the things. So I thought, well, find my center point and then do 4, and then it's so many down, and so on and so forth. And so then I found this edge, and then it's go back up, go down the other side, and you do that 4 times, and then link it up down the bottom here. As you can see, here's all the wooden bits. If I go around here, you'll see all the little wooden bits of the whole hemisphere plan, and you can see how much I've had to dig away. Oh, and we've got a freeze, and you can see that there was while we've got this freeze, oh no, there we go, we've unstuck. You can see by the floating chest that there was substance there was stuff, and I've taken it all away, and I will be landscaping all of this as well. It's possible that, because I don't want to so much tear all of this down, as I want to integrate this into the landscape, so I might, I've got plans that that I'm going to do with this. It might just be that I will bring this grass and have a sort of maybe a slab bridge or something, and have this as a little walkway around. I might make it a little bit wider if I'm going to make it as a walkway though. But no, I'm not going to tear all of this down. I don't think it's necessary. But then we'll go around here, and you can see I was using lights to highlight everything, and you can see where we are in relation to spawn. And this is the first hemisphere. It's far from finished. You see how much I've torn down. It's like my processor's up on this pedestal, and I've been trying to, you know, sort of make it as rounded as I can, and I thought, well, I can use, you can see I've got all sorts of corner slopes and that sort of thing. Oh, we're stuck again. And I found that started to make it conical again. So I use these slabs. It's not perfectly round, but I will sort of round off all of these edges here as well, to sort of give it a more, it'll be more green, be more mound-like when I'm finished. I don't think that I'm going to be able to sort of, I don't know, I might put some grass slabs there to make it green, I don't know if I have any on me that we can experiment with. No, but that's not a problem because we do have our handy processor. So we can make some experimental grass slabs, can't we? We'll do that. So yeah, I might have some grass slabs just to make it a bit greener. This bit will be coming down. And somewhere here is where I'm going to end up putting the entranceway. That's an exercise in itself. But if we look at, I'm going, if we look at the map, and you look at the map, it does have a rounded shape. I won't say it's a perfect circle, but I'm quite chuffed with that, to be quite honest with you. I'm quite impressed. I've made a circle. Yes, go me. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to teleport back to my home base. I do like that. I'm going to have a sneaky drink while we're waiting for this. But yes, teleport back to the home base to show you the mock-up I've done of my round door. Because that was the first thing that I set my mind to doing. I kind of thought, well, I have no idea how to do a round door. Wait, right, yeah. Da, 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 da. And up we go. And here it is. Here is my round door. Not... the fact that the wood textures sort of go in different directions, sort of annoying, but not a lot that I can do about that. So I've kind of tried to work with it and get them to work together where I can. But yeah, I think it's always going to be a mishmash. I might even, let's see, that might look better. Don't know. I don't know. Either way, it still looks a bit, yeah, clunky somehow. But I think it's near enough. And I'm using the medieval door. I think that works rather well. And this will fit in into the circle that I'm making at spawn. It'll probably be set in a little bit because, as you can see, I mean, the initial pop with spawn, it's 3 high, so that's 1, 2, 3 to there, and I've got this little bit. Although I wouldn't mind that little bit poking up, and I don't know if anybody heard that, but that's Stinky Dog. And believe you me, if there's ever a world war, I've got the best chemical weapon in the world living in my house, because that is noxious. There needs to be a warning label on his backside. Doesn't there, Charlie? Eh? It's so bad, he runs away from it. That's just to tell you how bad that really is. Hey, precious. Yes, Mummy's doing a lot of research on the internet into what causes this sort of thing, and we've basically come to the conclusion that we think we'll have to take ourselves off to the veterinarian to get a professional opinion. Why is there a hole there? A hole in the ground, shouldn't be there at all. Oh, looks like I've got some things in my spawner. What have we got here? Rambos! Yay! They'll probably stay there, won't they? I don't need to tame them. Right, so let's go back to spawn. And like I say, I mean, I haven't been doing an awful lot on this server. The past week has been a little bit difficult for me. So yeah, I've done what I've needed to do, and I've left it at that. If that makes sense at all. I haven't done any extra, and that almost felt like how it would be if you were riding on cobbles. I have no idea where I am in relation to spawn. I know we're in sight of the castle. I thought we were over there. I think we are. Whoa, wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly. Yes, there we are. That's kind of nice. It's sort of hidden behind the trees, and then suddenly, there it is. So, a little bit of... went too far. Derp. Let's go back up here. A little bit into the mechanics of how I've actually done this quadrant is I used these wooden blocks here to mark out the initial circle, and then I just sort of went one in and took it all the way up using this as a guide. And I did realize quite quickly that there'll be a little sort of crunch point here, and you can see it here. There's this little bit here where you kind of run out of space. So the easiest way that I found to overcome that is you build up this side, and you go around the other way and build up that side, and you build it together, and then you just fill in the gaps. And it's worked. So it's my first attempt at a circle, and I'm not displeased with it. So let's see now. Where did they go? Where'd those slabs go? There they are. Let's put them there where the dirt is. Let's see. It would go dark, wouldn't it? There we go. How the rotated slabs on there look. Yeah, that's a good idea. Stand where you can't see everything. I do like that it kind of makes it more green, but then it also kind of makes this a bit lumpy, doesn't it? Here. It sort of makes this section not work so well. So I don't know. Oops. Well, no, that's just not going to work. I'm busy experimenting here. No. Again, that doesn't... That looks weird, doesn't it? Yeah, awkward. I mean, the other option would be to put slabs like this. But then you're going to have... Oops. Then you're going to have that odd little configuration. Which I actually... No, I don't like that at all. Huh. I definitely preferred that. We're not going to get an ideal solution to that, are we? Now let's stand back. I do like that it gives it the green walls though, which is what I'm looking for, as opposed to this brown. So I think we're going to have to kind of live with clunky corners. I'm sort of seeing why people are asking now for sort of semi-slopes. Now I'm one of them. I'd like a semi-slope, please. All the stuff you've given me, Playful, is not enough. I'm now requiring a semi-slope. Let's stand back again and have a look. Yeah, you see, it's difficult. The other option would be, now I've really got to think. There is tourmaline glass, but making that the entire structure out of tourmaline glass. I mean, there's goo, but no. Forget that idea. Oh, look, I can unlock that. So no, I definitely want it to be green because it's got to look. The only thing, there isn't really anything else remotely green, is there? Is that the hidden temple one? Again, that's going to take a lot of tourmaline. We need green blocks. That's diamond glass. What's that? Purple block of glue. Glue! See, goo is green, but it's too lurid a green. I wonder... Do I have any... No, but I've got slabs, haven't I? So I can craft stairs. What if... Let's just craft some of those. I'll put that there. What if that goes in here instead of these? So let's put that... let's get the right rotation this way. Thank you. That does make that transition less abrupt, doesn't it? And here it works because that's going straight along at that angle, doesn't it? And that's kind of giving you that sort of gentle graduation rather than, I don't know, it just kind of looked chunky before. You know, you guys have inspired me. Oh, I'm sick and tired of walking through this thing. Yes, it kind of looks a little bit like a, I don't know, some kind of chocolate coconut sandwich. Yes, but I'm liking that better. And we've got this transition here. And then what we would do here is we would again put stairs. And then we would put slopes. Like that. That works. You guys are geniuses. I would have never have thought of that without you. Well done. Now just, you know, coat the whole thing with it for me, please? But anyway, this is my WIP, my work in progress, my whip. And so I will continue working on this. I see, wow, I've actually recorded quite a lot. Half an hour already. It doesn't feel like it, it just felt like a short time. And yes, so the entryway is going to come over here. And I think it will work because we'll have that little bit over there, won't we? That little extra 3 blocks. But it'll work. The door will go in there and it'll all be nice and pretty. I'm sort of debating whether to bring this whole area down one more so that the wood part stands out. And that's possibly going to be what I will end up doing. But it's a lot of tearing down and building up to create this little storage mound. But I wanted to do this video just to show you that I'm still here. Yay, still here. Still working on stuff. And petting the dog because he's got his head on my lap. Hey, little precious. Hey, oh, my beautiful boy. Hey, you're your boy. Yeah, you met the nice dog lady today, and the dog lady likes the dog lady because she gives him treats. Makes him do tricks for it. There he is, stood there like an attention seeker, doing all his tricks just for treats. My dog can be bought, and in all fairness, I can't say that I blame him. We'll do anything for treats. Hey, yes, we'll do anything for doggy treats. Well, on that note, I will bid you a fond farewell from me, Tashlan, from my beautiful Charlie the dog boy, and from the 2 sleepy pussycats, Puddon Anpye. You know, we love you loads. Peace out, peeps.